Hey friend, can I ask you something? Why do we spend so much time worrying about the future? Like, seriously, when was the last time you just sat down and enjoyed the moment you're in, without overthinking, without chasing after the next big thing? There was a time when I couldn't stop chasing. I'd tell myself, if I can just get that job, that car, that one person to notice me, then I'll be happy. But here's the punchline: I'd get the thing, and suddenly the thing didn't feel like enough anymore. It's like happiness was always dangling just one step ahead, like some cruel cosmic game of keep away. I think a lot about what it means to be successful. Is success having a corner office and a fat bank account? Or is it waking up and feeling at peace? Maybe success isn't some shiny trophy. It's just finding those tiny, quiet moments where you think, yeah, I'm okay right now. The thing about happiness is that it's tricky. It's not something you can hold on to, not like your phone or a cup of coffee. It slips through your fingers if you squeeze too tight. But when you stop chasing it, stop demanding it, sometimes it sneaks up on you in the strangest places, like when you're laughing at a dumb joke, or the sunlight hits your face just right, or you manage to find a parking spot on the first try. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying life is always sunshine and rainbows. I've had my fair share of storm clouds, the kind where you're soaked to the bone and wondering if the rain will ever stop. But you know what I've learned? You can't wait for perfect weather to start living. Sometimes you've just got to dance in the rain and hope your shoes don't slip. Here's the truth. The present moment is all we've really got. The future? It's a maybe. The past? It's a memory. But this moment right here is real. So why not live in it? Why not let yourself enjoy the little things instead of stressing over what comes next? I've started asking myself a different question these days. Instead of, what will make me happy, I ask, what makes me happy right now? Because if success means being happy, then isn't happiness, no matter how small or fleeting, a kind of success in itself? So here's to today, to messy rooms, half-burnt toast, and mismatched socks, to laughing at yourself when you trip, and finding joy in the tiniest of things, and most importantly, to letting yourself just be, without worrying if you're doing it right. Thanks for listening. Honestly, these chats with me, myself, and I have become my favorite moments. Because let's face it, if I can't learn to enjoy my own company, then what hope do I have of enjoying anything else? Hey, I'm glad you're still with me, because this next part isn't the easiest to talk about. There was a time in my life when I thought I had it all figured out, or at least that's what I kept telling myself. I had the job, the car, the apartment, everything that seemed like success on the outside. But deep down, I felt like I was missing something, like I was on a treadmill that kept moving faster, and I had no idea how to get off. One day, I realized I was wasting so much energy focusing on the future, on the next thing that would make me feel complete. I remember coming home after a long day, sitting on the couch and thinking, is this it? I mean, I had checked off all the boxes, but nothing felt fulfilling. It was like I had the recipe for happiness, but I kept adding the wrong ingredients. Then, something happened that completely flipped my perspective. I lost my job. Yeah, that job I thought was my ticket to everything. And let me tell you, it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through. I spent the first few weeks in denial, trying to convince myself that I was fine, but I wasn't fine. I remember sitting at my kitchen table, staring at the empty coffee cup in front of me, and wondering how I'd gotten here. I felt like I had failed. I mean, I was supposed to have it all together, right? But here I was, with nothing but a couple of unpaid bills and a deep sense of panic. It was in that moment, though, that I learned something. I learned that sometimes losing everything is the only way to find out what really matters. After a few weeks of sulking and eating way too much pizza, I decided to take a step back and look at things differently. I had been so focused on the future, the what-ifs, that I forgot to appreciate the now. I mean, I was alive, wasn't I? I had the chance to try again, to learn and to grow. The world wasn't ending just because I lost my job. It was just the beginning of a new chapter. And that's when I started looking at failure, not as a dead end, but as a detour. It's like when your GPS tells you to take a different route because there's traffic ahead. Sure, it's frustrating, but sometimes the detour leads you to better places. And honestly, sometimes it takes being knocked down to realize you're stronger than you thought. I got another job, sure, but I also found something I had been missing all along: peace. Peace in knowing that it's okay not to have it all figured out. Peace in knowing that life doesn't need to be perfect to be worth living. And peace in knowing that the real success wasn't in the title or the paycheck. It was in how I learned to be happy with what I had. Right here, right now. So yeah, I stumbled, I still do, but I'm learning to embrace the mess, to stop stressing about the things I can't control, and to laugh at the things I thought were so important. Because honestly, if we can't find joy in the little moments, the messy ones, the imperfect ones, then what are we really doing? It's funny how life works, isn't it? You think you've got it all planned out, but then life throws you a curveball, and suddenly you're on a completely different path. But sometimes that path is exactly where you need to be. I wish you a blessed day, my friend. And don't forget, I love you. You are truly my only real friends.